Okay, I said I was going to make this video a month or so ago. I had an RX7 that I sold to my neighbor, and he called me up a few months ago and said the car's not accelerating past 4,000 RPMs. You floor it, and that's all it's got. And I was like, oh, limp mode. Got to be in limp mode. That makes sense. I test drive it. I said, okay, so maybe it's airflow. We'll take the air filter out, and then maybe that'll fix it. Didn't fix it. It's, by the way, it's mechanical oiling. So there's a rod that goes down to the auxiliary oiler. Okay, 1989 they changed that to a computerized stepper motor, and the stepper motor's got a resistor on the other side of it to tell the computer that the engine's getting oil, and that circuit's working, whatever. Limp mode is like 30 miles an hour. It's terrible. And I was like, well, this doesn't seem like limp mode, but this is a OBD1 or something, right? Maybe it's fuel. So we changed the fuel filter, and that didn't do it. And I was looking online, and I stumbled across something. I said, that's it. That is it. And I know for damn fact. Now, my 13B is in a 78 midget, and it's just got a carburetor going straight down from an intake straight into it's a 6-port engine, right? So if you're having this trouble, that your RX7 only turns to 3,800 RPMs, that's as far as it'll go, it's in your intake. It's an air situation. It's not breathing enough air through, and I'll show you what that is. I don't have any because I throw the damn things away. They go into the side of the iron. I could go get my iron, but you don't need me to do that. Everybody knows what an iron looks like. And on the intake side of the iron, your spark plugs are over here, and on the intake side of your iron, you got these little round sleeves. They're about that long, and they've got a side cut out of them. It's a tube with the side cut out, and when the actuator turns, that thing turns and allows your 6 ports. You got one on the back and one on the front. It allows your 6 ports to open up, the 5 and 6. To open up, and it'll suck more air in, and your car will run on up to, $5 grand, $6 grand, $7 grand, whatever you want to try to do. You better have heavier than 30 weight oil if you don't want any kind of rotor slap going on. Anyway, I'll show you what that is. Now, I know this is a mess, but this is your intake manifold where it bolts onto the engine. You see these little rods right here? You see how they turn? Okay, that goes to a vacuum pot. And these two, this is 5 and this is 6, or this is 5 and that's 6. These are your additional ports, and it opens up air into that port right there. Well, is it that port? Yeah, it's this port. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, so I guess this is 5 and 6. So air will flow down through here, and you got airflow right here and right here. And when this turns, it opens up that slider. It rotates the slider. What happens over time, if you don't take it out and run the shit out of it every couple weeks or once a month and get it up over 4 grand, this thing will get sticky. The slider in here's got gum and shit. I mean, you can see all the shit that's on this one. It gets all gummy and sticky, and this vacuum pot's not strong enough to turn it. I suppose if you can get your hands down there to manually turn them, you probably could be able to do that. My resolution, solution, whatever you want to call it, is you can park it on a hill to where the motor's leaning this way, the spark plugs are pointing downhill. You can dump seafoam in the spark plug holes, take the top spark plugs out, dump seafoam in there, roll the engine backwards, and let that seafoam get up in here and soak for about a day, and then take it out and drive it. And that should clean it out. And if you can get into the intake, or you can spray something into the intake, it might get down there and do it too. I don't know. I don't have the car in front of me, so I can't tell whether you can actually reach back in here and rotate that like that. That's what you got to do to unstick them. But they get sticky if you don't exercise them regularly. So if you have an RX7, 88, 89, 90, I don't know, it could be all the way up to 93, I suppose, that will not open up past 3,800 RPMs, it's your 5 and 6 port sliders, okay? I wish I had a set here to show you, but I throw them away. If you got the engine apart and you're putting it back into an RX7, I wouldn't recommend pitching them in the trash. Put them back in there, but clean them off really good. They get gummy and sticky. But dump some seafoam in there. Hopefully you'll get that seafoam washed back into the intake to where it'll flow through the iron and get into that port slider. It's called a port slider, I think. But you do a little research into it, that's your problem. I promise you, you get some seafoam in there and get those things freed up, your car will be fine. You don't need to take it in to get it rebuilt, and don't listen to somebody when they tell you that the motor's no good. Shouldn't be any real problem with it. It should be just fine. If it starts and runs, just won't go over $4,000, then get that little issue resolved. Do your best not to take it apart because they are a bitch to put back together. Okay? Good luck. Post some comments if you have any questions, and I'll get to them, I promise you.